I think I may have cracked the code on Scream 6. Welcome back to the only channel that does movie reviews. I'm Timbo, and today we're talking about a movie that's slated for release on March 10th. And that, my friends, is Scream 6. Now I know what you're thinking.
Timbo, this is not a movie review.
And to that I say, welcome back to the only channel that talks about movies. I'm Timbo, and today we're talking about Scream 6. And today I want to specifically talk about my thoughts on who I think the killers are in this upcoming movie. So make sure to stick around if you like to theorize about movies, if you like to theorize about horror movies, talk about endings, upcoming films, just as much as I do. And then also, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and help my channel grow. So lately, I've really been watching this trailer over and over as much as I typically do. Trying to connect the pieces, trying to like see where things fit, where all the different scenes flow together. And I think I've come up with a pretty good idea on what I think they're going to be doing in this movie. And to figure out who the Ghostface killers are, I decided to take a look mostly on where this trailer hones in on the most, which is the Ghostface shrine. I mean, you literally have evidence from every movie in this shrine, and it seems as though it's crime scene evidence. Who would just have all this stuff here? And then on top of that, it's locked away in a personal vault that looks as though it looks like it was a theater at one point. So whoever these killers are, they have access to two things. One, crime scene evidence, and two, a personal vault in the city. With this evidence in mind, I believe the first killer is Dermot Mulroney, aka Detective Bailey, aka Russell from New Girl. To me, this first guess seems pretty obvious, just knowing that this guy's a detective in New York City. He's obviously been there for a while, so he has access to all this crime scene evidence, and also he may have lived in New York before that, so he may have inherited this private theater, or maybe has just access to it. So I think Detective Bailey is our first Ghostface killer. Now, for his motive, I really wasn't sure at first. Could he be related to a killer? Maybe. But they already did that in Scream 5 with those people all being related to the killers. And we still already have them reprising their roles for this movie. Then I thought maybe it could be Stu. I thought maybe, in the original, he had a TV land on his face. So maybe he survived and he ran off. And in that time, he's gotten facial reconstruction and became a cop in New York City just to lay low, but also just to keep tabs and plan his big next attack. But that also didn't make sense, since Melissa Barrera's biological dad is Billy Loomis, and Stu was friends with him. But then, like a TV hitting me in the face, it all clicked, and his motive became the second killer. In the trailer, Ghostface says this:
"Maybe, but there's never been one like me, Gale."
Why would he say this? Because there's never been a Ghostface that was also a survivor. That's right. I think the second killer, the second Ghostface, is none other than Hayden Panettiere's character, Kirby Reed. And it makes total sense when I broke it down. For one, she's another detective in New York City and is most likely Bailey's partner. Then on top of that, she's also very different from all the other killers, since she was once on the sharp end of that knife in Scream 4. So what would give her a good enough reason to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to put on the mask too. There's one reason: jealousy. She's mad. She's upset. She was never stalked again by another Ghostface. Everybody else had, we had the series. We had Sydney being haunted till this day by Ghostface. But she was in one movie. Got stabbed by the boy that was obsessed with her and moved on. But she never got that again until she met Detective Bailey, that is. See, Detective Bailey is obviously obsessed with all the killings that's happened. So sure enough, learning that the Kirby Reed, a survivor of Ghostface, would be in this department is enough fire probably in him to want to be with her. They fall in love and they bond over this relationship of Kirby getting the flowers of being a survivor, surviving Ghostface, while Detective Bailey gets to be with a survivor of Ghostface. One of his biggest obsessions turned into his love life. But things change for her. Now, there's new survivors in the city, with her, and Detective Bailey is really excited about that. But it doesn't sit right with Kirby. So she tells Detective Bailey, hey, you know what would be really cool? What if we could add to that legacy of Ghostface and you could be a part of it? So there's your plot. There's your two killers, Detective Bailey and Kirby Reed. They're both getting what they want out of this relationship, and then they get to finish off the other survivors, and she gets to be the only survivor other than Sydney in New York City, and Detective Bailey gets to be a part of his obsession. From there, they kill off, one or two people here eventually until something obviously goes awry, and our survivor moves on to the final film. Do I think this is how it's going to unfold? No. Is this what I hope it does? Because then I'll look like a freaking genius? Of course. Let me ask you. Let me turn the table and ask you. What do you think is going to happen on March 10th in Scream 6? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Who do you think the killers are? Maybe who do you think is going to survive? Maybe one of our survivors is already the killer. Comment below. Let me know. Like this video. Subscribe. And as always, I'm Timbo, and I just talked about that. Peace.